Meteorologist Danielle Noyce here for the 1 Degree Outside Weather Network with your insights video. Classic spring fashion. Our temperature seesaw continues here. We will turn milder again on Friday. Good for the Red Sox home opener. We're going to take a look at that forecast. Another backdoor front pushes into the region on Saturday, so we'll be on the cooler side again. Then another warm front comes in, and that means we'll get briefly milder on Sunday, but there will be a period of rain as well as a cold front sweeps through later in the day. So we'll time it all out together coming up. Meanwhile, pretty significant wintry storm across the upper Midwest here. That will depart into eastern Canada and bring some pockets of sleet, freezing rain, and snow to northern Maine during the day on Friday. And then there's another disturbance waiting in the wings that will spread areas of snow into the northern plains. Ahead of it, we've got some significant warmth, and it's along that boundary that we're going to fire up some severe thunderstorms during the day on Friday. The yellow and particularly the orange shaded areas where we'll see some pop-up scattered action, some isolated tornadoes, as well as damaging wind gusts, large hail potential, especially from southern Iowa, stretching into northern Missouri, and then all the way back down into northeast portions of Texas, riding right along that boundary. You notice here of warmth and humidity out ahead of it and much colder air behind it. For us, yes, we get briefly milder, and that will be the case to start the weekend too, before that cooler air takes hold. So our highs on Saturday are early, and we'll look at that coming up. Meanwhile, DC, record-breaking warmth down across the mid-Atlantic for Saturday with highs topping out in the mid-80s. That will extend all the way back down to the southeastern United States. Cooler air coming into the central United States. For the second half of the weekend on Sunday, a lot of cooler air overall across the country, a lot of 40s, 50s, 60s. We will still see some warmth across the far southeastern United States for Easter Sunday. So let's zoom into New England. For our Friday, the morning will feature some localized slick travel across northern New England, particularly in the Pine Tree State. When you get north of the Maine Turnpike up to the Crown of Maine, where there will be some pockets of sleet and snow that will taper off by the time we get to late afternoon and evening. For the rest of us, our Friday's actually pretty nice. Now, there will be a lot of clouds around. I think we get some peaks and breaks that do come out. We've got a breezy southwest wind. So after a cool, kind of chilly raw start in the morning, we get that southwest wind to take hold and we turn mild by the afternoon. Here comes that front. So Saturday, we're warm early, and then, that backdoor front pushes all that warmth down to our south and west. So the onshore wind takes hold. Temperatures are going to be dropping. We'll be coolest at the coast. Definitely a raw, chilly feel, particularly for the second half of the day. We'll still be mild in southwestern New England and then drop as well. And that's where we may see a shower or downpour, even an isolated thunderstorm come into far western New England during the day on Saturday. But a lot of us will be dry. I can't rule out a couple pockets of drizzle at the coast as that backdoor front and that cool marine layer comes in. Sunday, another front. Here we go. So it's mild, but it does come with a trade-off. There will be pockets of showers and rain from northwest to southeast during the morning, sweeping through over the course of the afternoon to early evening. So by Sunday evening, notice southeastern New England still dealing with some pockets of rain. Meanwhile, northwestern and even central New England will be drying out behind that cold front, which will bring a change in air mass and a couple snowflakes in far northern New England, some upslope snow on the backside of that cold front later on Sunday into the start of next week. Yep, we're still showing snow maps, even though it's April. And you notice it's generally across northern Maine, but you get north of Medway and Millinocket, it's more like a sloppy coating, and there'll be some sleet mixed in. A lot of this falls during the Friday morning to early afternoon time frame. You get north of Littleton back up to Presque Isle, it's more like an inch or two, and then more like 2 to 4. From Caribou stretching back up to Van Buren and right along the Canadian border near Fort Kent, we're talking about 6 or 7 inches of snow with about an inch of sleet on top of that too. So definitely wintry still across the Crown of Maine and a little bit of light icing too. So watch for some slick spots. Keep a close eye on the car thermometer for Friday morning. Notice it's generally across far northern New England, may stretch down briefly towards the Lakes region, but then Rumford back into northern Maine with some pockets of light icing, and all it takes is a glaze to create some slick travel. Meanwhile, high temperatures on Friday do manage to jump up into the 60s after a cool start in the morning. Yes, the exception is across northern Maine where we're still chilly. Sox then at Fenway Park. It'll be interesting because we'll have an onshore wind and it's a cool start in the morning, but then it starts to shift around right by first pitch. So I think we jump into the low 50s for the start of the game at 2:10. And then by the end of the game, we're in the 60s with some breaks of sun. That southwest wind kicks up a bit, so it's going to be blowing out to left center field for the Red Sox home opener. Fantastic if you're going to be out at Fenway Park. Friday night, we drop back into the 30s, but that's far northern New England. Most of us are very mild, 40s to around 50. And that's why Saturday morning, it's going to be a mild start. Most of our temperatures on Saturday, or the highs at least, will be in the morning. And then that cool ocean air takes hold. So I do want to show you that hour by hour, because it's just like it's been earlier this week when you get the backdoor fronts that come in. You get mild, feels nice, and then all of a sudden, boom, that easterly wind takes over. So Saturday morning, some sunshine, a few clouds mixed in. We're in the 50s and 60s through lunchtime. And then notice that cooler air as that onshore wind takes hold, the low clouds, some patchy fog fill in, maybe even a little drizzle right at the coast, and we fall through the 40s Saturday afternoon. Meanwhile, it's going to be 65 to 70 in far southwestern New England, and then the 30s in far northern Maine. So it's a changeable weather day, and there's not a lot of green you notice on the map, but there may be a spot shower or two as those kind of air masses collide. By Sunday, we're back up into the 60s, though briefly 50s to the north, 40s in northern Maine for Easter celebrations with a southwest wind. And so it will start cool in the morning with the rain generally focused in northwestern New England. That wind kicks up, and we'll see that rain shift from northwest to southeast over the course of the day. So it's not raining the whole day, but it will be a little bit unsettled. I do want to talk briefly about the wind, because it is going to be shifting over the coming days. Southwest wind on Friday takes hold, brings in that mild air. I'm not talking about damaging gusts, but 20, 30 miles per hour. So you're going to notice it. And then here we go. By Saturday afternoon, as that backdoor front comes in, we're going to see that northeast wind take hold, gusts 20 to 30 miles per hour at the coastline, dragging in that cool marine air. And then look at that. The southwest wind takes over again on Sunday. We actually may gust to around 40 miles per hour Sunday, midday through the afternoon in southern New England, some isolated gusts to 45 on Cape Cod, and perhaps up towards the valleys early in the day as that cold front sweeps through. So lots of ups and downs. You can track them all with our free weather app. You get the videos at the top. You can watch our 24/7 streaming network, the Send to Us tab, as you're out and about in the interactive radar as well. It's the only weather app you need. You're going to love it. Search 1 Degree Outside Weather in the App Store and Google Play. Thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this 1 Degree Outside video.
Get exclusive content, support the mission at membership.onedegreeoutside.com. And don't forget, free and 5 stars on the App Store and Google Play. Search the number 1 Degree Outside Weather.